Hello, everyone, and welcome back. As you can see, I'm alone. Maybe it's just the day that I do the show on my own. I'm just kidding. Janai will be joining us shortly, but definitely don't go anywhere. We have a jam-packed show. Like, you guys are going to want to tune in to this. We're going to be talking college football. You know we're going to be talking about USC because we're struggling right now, so we definitely got to get some things off our chests. We're going to be talking about the NFL and what we think is going to be happening for the Super Bowl, as well as some of our Trojan alumni that are in the NFL and are doing great or maybe not so great. As well as you know, it's almost Halloween weekend. I'm not sure if you guys are celebrating this weekend or next weekend, but we're going to be giving you some of our do's and don'ts for costumes. Definitely tune in for that because I have a lot to say because I've been seeing some crazy stuff on TikTok. As you know, hey, we're going to give it to you real. Our opinions are always off script, but always on brand. Don't forget to follow us on everything, guys. We just posted a show because Janai and I have been struggling. We talked about this in our show we posted on Friday, which we were in a different setup. We were at our home, and it was a little bit of a mess, but our setup is back to normal this week, and we have everything going, but definitely check out our past shows because we've been slacking a little bit, but we should be back on track. That show was not promoted very well, but hey, we are. It's gonna be better. It's gonna be better, guys. But trust, we were just going through a lot. But we're back in our normally scheduled program, and Janai is taking her sweet time getting into the room because she doesn't love you guys, and she wants you guys to just pay attention to me, your girl Macy. Honestly, if she just stayed out a little bit longer, it would the show would not be as good. We would miss her so much.
I'm so sorry, guys. I thought I was gonna get a good old welcome the baddest, biggest, juiciest,
biggest,
nicest, funniest. But no, she didn't. She gave me crumbs, so whatever. It is what it is. Anyways, I'm your host, Jay Nizzo.
And y'all already know who I am. Y'all know they know who I am.
The biggest, most chunkiest Wingstop lover.
And I'm gonna put this.
My 600-pound life.
Like the dog videos where they play the music in the back. I'm gonna put this on there and I'm gonna tag her so she seems like the biggest bully.
No. I'm so nice.
She
guys.
says this to me all the time. I approve. People heard it.
No, I don't. No,
people heard it.
No, I've never done anything like this
okay,
before.
Though. No, she does it all the time. Didn't you just tell me to be a Wingstop bag for Halloween? She literally.
Oh my gosh! Let's start with the Halloween fits. What are the best fits you've seen, or best fits that or that you haven't seen yet, but people should have done?
Well, I know that I'm a sucker for like funny things. I feel like in college it's hard to be funny because it just actually depends on the party you're going to. It depends on the vibe, but people don't appreciate funny costumes.
You can't be funny in college. You have to give sexy.
You have
unfortunately.
to. You really do, because if you give funny, like people are just gonna be like, "What did you do that for?" However, I've been seeing a TikTok trend that was like Nacho Libre. Have you seen that one? No. Oh my gosh, that one is so funny. That trend I absolutely love.
The Lorax ones are the
Lorax ones are
y'all
so funny.
Are eating
Lorax
them
and Mr. O'Hare.
Chased by a midget.
Mr. O'Hare is so funny.
I love O'Hare, top tier. I saw Chicken Little one. I said,
you
know what?
Good.
8.
No, the face paint on that one. I said, what are you doing?
For me, I'll say best is Lorax. I'm not saying of all time. Just recently.
No, I saw one that was like, it was like Hannah Montana where Miley and Lily dressed up. It was that episode where the Jonas Brothers went on it, and they had to like dress up as men to like, I forget what they were doing. That one, that was so funny. I saw that one on TikTok too.
They dabble, yeah.
I also saw a couple costume that I thought was very creative. It was like deer in the headlights. The guy was the deer and the girl was the headlights. I said, you low-key ate that up.
I see that one. I saw one that was a couple one. It was Barbie, and like she was a bartender. He was a bee. It was cute.
Okay, that's cute. Creative too.
She said, I got that liquor on me. I said,
right.
Too much. They're going to be walking up you at the party, but
no, I love that.
What about worse? I feel like obvious, and by obvious, I'm talking to every single one of you. Culture appropriation.
Oh yeah.
Let it go. Why am I still seeing Princess Jasmine advertised? Can we let it go?
My thing is, if you have to ask, I just think maybe you just shouldn't do it. I don't understand that.
Just stay
I don't even really like the nun costumes. I think I'm like,
it's teetering on the edge of like.
yeah, I'm like, I wouldn't do it, but like.
And there's like sexy nuns. I'm like, wait.
No, literally.
Doesn't this go against everything they stand for?
But I guess if you're not religious, it doesn't really matter. So like, do you?
That is true.
But I think there's a lot of costumes that are like played out, like the Chucky one, the Chucky and the Bride. It's just I feel like costumes have to adjust with like the trends, literally.
Yes.
So I'm like,
Agree.
those wigs, like, cause the Bride has that like blonde hair. I'm like, the wigs on that, I have not been seeing good wigs. Like, guys, let's let go of Lola Bunny.
Oh my gosh, Space Jam, please.
Let's just let it go.
The Space Jam shorts never eat. They
No,
never
they don't.
eat.
They don't.
I have yet to see one company get it right. We will take promoted free things if y'all want to test us, though. No?
I was just no.
If y'all feel like y'all can get it right, try us.
Oh,
try us.
And then I just think anything a man puts on. Men don't try at Halloween. Unless they have, like, a girlfriend, I feel. It's always, like, some athlete. It's either going to be, like, a prisoner or a ref.
Throwing on a jersey is clutch, but it is lazy. It is a lazy costume. And I will reiterate this again. Let Lola Bunny go.
I agree.
If I see one bunny,
What's
not
that?
ESPN.
What's that? Your phone's not on silent?
LeBron and Bronny become first father-son duo to grace NBA hardwood during the regular season. Mila Goat.
Let's see how long they play together. Let's see.
But yes, I do think that men don't really try. I have yet to see like a good costume where I was like, he ate. Except for the anime fellow community. Y'all really do your thing. So yeah. Aside from them.
Yeah. I just think guys aren't creative. Like, I will say, like, girls do a lot of basic costumes, but I feel like it's the way they embody it.
It's the body yaddy yaddy.
And men just put that on and then they act like themselves. And you're like,
literally.
You chewed. You chewed.
Plate's still cold.
Literally.
Food's still on the table.
So,
sitting out overnight.
That should give y'all some inspiration. Let's get creative out here.
Please.
Let's do something.
Something funny. It doesn't always have to be bad. Just be funny. Have
Literally.
fun.
That's what the girlies want to see.
Right? We're only young
You're
ones.
never going to be LeBron. Put his jersey away. Don't disrespect him like that.
Speaking of disrespect, USC, down with Miller. Down. Too much?
Down with Miller is crazy.
Let's overthrow Caesar.
Down with Miller is crazy because I don't agree with that after this game. Personally.
Is the tea hot today? Okay.
It's
USC
warm.
lost to Maryland. Go watch the highlights. I have nothing to say about that. But we will talk about our keys to success and what went wrong. What went wrong for USC?
I think for the past few years, we've been saying it's the defense. It's the defense. They finally brought someone in who I feel like has cleaned up the defense. The defense looks better. And now I think we're relying on defense. So, which I feel like is unfair. I feel like the defense will sit there and, like, help us all through the first half and really put the team on their back. And then as soon as they start to, like, bobble and they're not as strong in the second half, the offense can't help them pick up that slack. So I'm like, it's unfortunate for the defense that they have, like, all that pressure. And it's like, as soon as they start to burn out, it's like, whatever, we start to fall apart.
I will definitely second this. We did say last week defense wins championships, and it showed against Penn State. However, I agree, like, that this cannot be your crutch. I'm so confused. When did we switch to being a second or first half team?
Yeah, I don't know when that happened.
Especially in the Big Ten, you need to be a through and through team. I'd rather be a second half team in the Big Ten, but I'd rather play a complete however many minutes, because it's never 60 minutes of football, just complete. And I agree, like, they rely on the defense, and then the defense is tired.
Yeah.
We have a short, however short the drive is, and then defense is back out.
Literally.
We're having so many injuries because of this, or the workouts, because why so many people get injured? We'll talk about that later. But I do feel like we can't rely on them. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, and I feel like it's bad for morale, because I know if I was on defense, I'd be pissed. I'd be like, we go out there and do our thing, and I got to get back out there? I'm tired.
Coach.
No, I feel bad. At this point, it's like, I feel like Lincoln brought someone in, and it kind of took the eye. It's like okay, now they fixed the defense. Now the eyes are moving somewhere else. Everybody's like, what else is wrong? And they're looking at Lincoln. So now I'm like, it kind of looks like it's your fault.
See, this is where I will say is my thing. Like, I do not think Lincoln's to blame. I do not think Lincoln should be fired just because I feel like Lincoln is doing everything right with what he has. Like, except for a couple things, obviously. But Miller, I think, like we said last week, it is a young team on offense. Like, you have Miller, who is inexperienced.
Yeah.
And all of our receivers, aside from Kyron and Kyle, are sophomores who didn't start or play last season, aside from Zach and the occasional Deuce. Makai was a DB last season.
No, literally.
Like, they even tried him as DB. So I feel like we're just inexperienced, and we're throwing them into the fire. And then, of course, they always blame the head coach, which I feel is unfair to Lincoln. But, I will say, yeah, we have to give them some grace. But I agree with you. Like, after a certain point, Lincoln, you got to move some pieces around.
I agree. I'm just saying, I feel like we didn't use our offseason effectively. I'm like,
Agreed.
I feel like going and getting Jaden out of the portal was probably not our best.
Jaden? Oh, sorry. I thought she was going to say Jay Fair. Because I was going to say, that's all we got?
That, too. I don't know why we
No,
have
I'm
him.
glad for Woody. Thankful.
Yeah, Woody,
Thankful even.
Woody and Kamari.
Literally. Woody, Kamari. No, we got some other dogs from defense.
Who?
Give me a sec.
Who?
No, give me
Who?
a second. I'm actually trying to remember. Give me 1 second.
Exactly.
But I will say I'm grateful for Woody for sure. But yeah, Jay Fair, no hate. They probably just don't use him how they should.
Probably.
We haven't even gotten to see him.
I think they do that
and
a
he's
lot.
What, a junior, senior? Like,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm like, there has to be more. It has to be, coaching has to be more of a play, in my opinion. I just feel like we just, even the way they use people, I feel like a lot of times it's not right. Why is Kyle Ford a wide receiver? He should be a tight end. I don't care. He should be a tight end. He's built like a tight end. He's big like a tight end. He needs to block
okay,
like
we
a
got
tight end.
Easton and Achille. They're definitely helping.
I agree.
They're
helping.
definitely, especially in Eric's absence, I would say, and Anthony Lucas, for sure.
I just don't understand what the strategy was for the offseason. I'm like, you went and got this quarterback that you're not using. You think Miller's better. You went and got this kicker that's trash.
No,
and I'm like,
say it again.
You went and got this kicker that's trash.
Let's not diverge yet, because I have one more thing about Jaden. I cannot stand this so bad. We had, I'll say somebody on the team has so much faith in Malachi Nelson that they brought him in. 5-star, whatever. He was great in high school. Then he left. I'm like, so you knew Miller was starting.
Yeah.
You let Malachi go and didn't, I don't know what, didn't want to build him up, whatever. And you got Jaden to sit a whole year?
I just think it's crazy because if you were at the games and you saw, the connections, Caleb was not interacting with Malachi. You only saw Caleb interact with Miller. It was Miller and Caleb. And, from the jump, I was like, I don't think Malachi's ever going to see the field. Even when they would have someone go in, it would never be Malachi. It was Miller, wasn't it?
I cannot remember.
I don't remember Malachi going in for real. I thought the backup was always Miller.
Which is probably what they told him and probably why he left.
Which is why I'm like, what has Miller shown you that is just is it just because we couldn't get anybody else, which then I think is fair.
Yeah.
But I also don't think it's, again, like I said last week, I don't think it's fair to just say Miller. Why isn't Jaden getting touches? That doesn't make sense to me.
Especially when, how many losses? Is this 3 in a row, 2 in a row? I do think Jaden should get a chance. I do not care about Miller's ego.
Yeah.
If Miller, be reasonable. Miller could go in the league. He could be a, for sure,
yeah,
third
Keaton
string.
Slavis is in the league. I didn't even know he was in the league. I saw on the roster today, on the Texas roster, I said,
Not too
how
much.
is he a backup?
No,
He's garbage.
Literally, when I saw that Boogie Ellis got waived, but Drew is in the league, sick.
No, that was sick work.
That
was sick work.
Sick. And I don't care what nobody
No, that's actually sick
Free
work.
Boogie, you will get signed. Drew, you're great, but whatever. Anyways, I do think it's sick that I think you're wasting Jaden's time.
Yeah.
You're wasting
And bro,
his time.
it's so sad to me. Like I see him on the sideline and he's looking at all the
Trained
plays.
to
He's
go.
ready to go, and I'm like, bro, throw him a bone. Let him go in. Because I'm like, especially Miller, he's not fantastic, and especially when
he's
we get
so Kirk Cousins. He's so average, just
Yeah.
the line.
He literally
gets the
is.
job done. But that's it. He gets it done.
Literally.
It's not saying that he wins or
At
he
all.
loses. He just does
Literally.
it. what he's supposed to do exactly.
And I'm like,
what he's supposed to do.
For the past few games where we've been in, like, when it always gets down to the wire, I'm like, Miller crumbles. And I'm not saying, okay, Jaden will be better, but I'm like, we know how Miller plays.
Yes.
Why not try something else?
And this is my thing, like you were saying earlier. What is the future of USC football? If
Literally.
the future of USC is Jaden, we should give him this chance. I do not care about Miller or his feelings. This is how football works. It's a business. We've seen how they treat people time and time again. So I'm not saying anything mean or brand new.
Yeah.
Sorry, Miller. Jaden is our future. Give him his sophomore season. Sophomore, right?
I think so.
Sophomore season to start in the Big Ten, learn, fail, grow. Next year, he'll be better with his receivers who are also juniors with him, and they grow together. What is this growth? What is going to happen next year when you throw Jaden in?
I have no clue. I think it's going to be terrible. We're going to be back at square
Are we going to
one.
hit the portal?
And he's going to be confused as to why it's not working. I'm like, that was you. You did not set him up for success at all.
Come on, Big Link.
No.
I trust in you. I trust you. I have faith.
I don't know. Link he's driving me crazy.
What about okay, first, let's say one standout player. If there was one from this game.
One standout player. Y'all know it was the return of Lake. Y'all know how I feel about Lake. I love Lake.
We missed you, Lake.
I think there was a time where it is me. Lake came out and he had this one play where, like, right off the bat where it was just explosive, and I think it was the momentum we needed. But I'm like, Lake is just, he's so good. I feel like he has that connection with Miller. I think Miller's, like, struggling to figure out how to, like, throw to his wide receivers. I'm like, I don't know if they don't like each other or what, but Lake, they've just had that connection. So I think
day one,
literally. So I'm like, him being out, we really missed out, like, a lot. So I'm like, I love seeing Lake back. He had an explosive play. He played pretty well, and I think he's just one of those players that it was difficult for them to, like, bring him down. And I think, especially with our wide receivers, they're like, some of them are tall. You know, Deuce is tall, Jacoby's tall, but they're not, like, big. Like, they're easy to bring down.
Yeah, they're not tanks.
No, for sure. But I will also say Jacoby had a really good catch when I was watching, and I was like, I don't know how he caught that at all, but it was a really good catch.
And I'll stand on the hill. Jack can be guarded until he's consistent.
I agree.
Until he's consistent.
I agree.
So what? What's the hype? He shows up one play a game. No, thank you. Next.
No, literally, and Barstool eats it up.
Speaking of next and one play a game, our kicker, Michael, Malik, Malachi, Damien, what's his name?
Michael.
Gotta go. You gotta go. I don't care. It's, especially when it's consistency and it's a kicker. Like, if you're a quarterback, if you're a wide receiver, okay, you may wear many hats. Quarterback, you rush, you throw, whatever. But kicker, you come, you kick. And they brought him in for range, as we said time and time again. And what does he do? Miss. Now the block kicked, I can't blame him.
Yeah, that's not his fault. That's luck. And
tried and true.
Pissed, but that was luck.
Good D. But I don't know.
I don't see the reason. I don't understand how Lincoln has so much confidence in him.
Over Dennis, mind you.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know what kind of tape he had. I don't know what he was doing over this summer, but there's literally no way in hell. Like, no way he was better than Dennis. Like, I don't believe that for a second.
Not one. And the thing is, every week it's something.
Literally.
This week, the block kick. Not your fault, but I'm still
blaming you because I'm pissed.
Last week, we could have beat Penn State. We could have beat them. And then, I mean, just every week, I'm like, I don't know if he's going to make it.
Literally.
I have to cross my fingers.
Literally. For the extra point, I'm like, guys, don't get excited. This could stay
so we got
6.
6.
Literally.
Like, that sucks. I should never be hoping we go for 2.
Literally.
Never.
An extra point should just be given. Like, it should never be like, oh, he missed that. Never.
Right?
Never.
I can't even say it no more. I stuttered. So that's...
No, I'm sick of him. And I feel like Lincoln, it's okay to be like, you know what, we're going to try something different. I feel like you want to keep people out there so bad. I'm like, do you know what hurt feelings? Because I'll tell him, Michael, you're sitting down. You're trash right now, okay?
I like when people, like, I understand when coaches back up their players and go to bat for them. But at the end of the day, like, if they go to the league, it's a business.
Literally.
They will cut you. They will trade you in your sleep.
Literally.
NBA, too. Players
Literally.
find out they get traded from fans.
Literally the worst day of your life. And they'll say, like...
You'll find out from Twitter. Traded, huh?
They just had Cat. He was out there on the court.
Oh, yeah.
The day, like, it was like 3 a.m.
Practicing
and then
with his dad.
Literally, then they traded him in the morning. I said,
like,
y'all let him in the facility and then let him lead and said, have a good night. It'll be your last.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you have to, even a job, they will cut you and just say, "Oh, we're having layoffs," with no explanation. Like,
Literally.
you cannot babysit these kids. And I'm not saying that's what he's doing, but from the outside, that's what it seems like.
Literally.
And unfortunately, as the head coach, aside from the quarterback, you take all the run, everything. Everything bad goes on the head coach or the quarterback. So, I mean, it does suck, but
I'm like, when does it start to matter? Because Lincoln, in all these press conferences, I can't even watch him anymore. He's just like, you know what? It just really hurt my feeling. You know, like, it's a hard pill to swallow every game. And I'm like, when is the pill too big? I'm like, when are we going to make some changes?
When does it get stuck in your throat?
Literally. I'm like, you're like, it's a hard pill to swallow. Okay, let's do the same thing next week. What?
Dennis should be starting. Jaden should be starting. I know we can't go in the portal, but our wide receivers should be different.
I'm like, listen, if Jaden gets out there and he's garbage, I will shut up.
At least we tried.
I will shut up. And
At least they got to see him.
And I'll say, you know what, Lincoln, I have respect for you because you tried something different. You said, you know what, that didn't work. That's not our best option. But right now, I'm like.
And this is what I'm saying. Maryland was 3-3. This is when we should play Jaden against a team that's beatable.
And I told y'all in the episode we just had, I said, they were saying that they're going to make some changes because they were doing so bad. And I said, I bet you we won't make any.
Maybe I think they made some, like, plays changes.
Well, they had somebody else calling the plays. Yeah. And they changed, like, they changed all the play names, I think.
Yeah, and, like, they had a couple more, like, RPO options for the offense. But I don't think they meant, like.
Well, I think that it makes a difference because I think our play calling has caused us issues.
For sure.
So I'm like, okay, pick a different play caller.
I do think the play calling was better, but again, it's not the main issue. But I like that they are trying.
But again, what I've recognized is Miller is not clutch. He's not clutch at all. We need to be up by a touchdown or two at the end. We can't be within, one touchdown. Like, it's not going to work.
Ever. Not in the Big Ten at all.
At all. I'm like, Miller can't do it. He cannot. And we don't have the receivers to do it either.
Literally, I'm looking at the stat sheet again. Makai leading in receptions, and he has 89 yards.
It makes no sense. I'm like, at this point, Makai is wide receiver 1. Because nobody else is showing up. I don't get that. I don't get that.
Speaking of not showing up, Zion again week 2.
Bro, Zion, pack your stuff.
2 weeks in a row. I hate to be so hard, but that was embarrassing. I can't lie.
Embarrassing.
That was embarrassing.
I was texting her and I said, I don't know what Zion thought he did. I don't know if he thought he pushed his defender out of bounds, if he thought he got up and knocked the ball out. But this man got up and started celebrating when Maryland had scored. Like, they got the touchdown. Yes, literally. And I said,
y'all, funniest thing ever. I can't lie.
I sent it to my mom. I sent it to my dad. I sent it to the group chats. I said, y'all gotta see this.
Yeah, check us out on TikTok. No, got a couple of views for it.
I think between that and, like, even, like, I just think it's culture again. Like, we were so immature in that game. Like, at the end, it was like John Humphrey, who shouldn't even be on the field at all. He had PI, which eventually led them to scoring at the end. And then I think also Mason. How long have you been playing football? Why do you let your emotions get to you? You costed us a 15-yard penalty at the end. Are you stupid? What was that for? What was the unsportsmanlike conduct for?
Again, I'll say we need captains. Not changing week to week.
Again, and I'm like, at that point, the way what you're showing, it shouldn't be you. Between you and then I think Easton had that slam the other few weeks ago that got us a penalty too. I'm like, that is culture to me. I'm like, that is stupid. Why would you sit there and you're like, at that point you're like, we're gonna lose anyways. You're giving up before you even lose. I'm like, that's the difference between us and the teams we're playing. They don't give up. They do not give up.
I really hope that our culture, like our morale, doesn't go away. Like, even though we cannot make the playoffs legitimately with this record, I hope that next game, like this coming game, it doesn't feel like it.
Yeah.
Like, I hope our team doesn't just, like, play. Like, I feel like we have enough seniors that would be like, we still need to play good to go to the league. But I am scared for our offense, who there's only a couple seniors. So
I agree. Like,
I'm nervous.
That's what I forget that like a lot of our wide receivers are just like immature. They're just like, I'm gonna be here next year,
literally. And
I'm like, to me that's selfish. That's so selfish because I'm like, for some of these people, it's their last year,
right?
So I'm like, you gotta play like that every time you
every game. Speaking of playing every game like it's your last, ASU's kicker, I don't even want to say his name. Don't look him up, y'all. Give him some grace. His coach said publicly in a conference that they're going to be having kicker tryouts. And not even to talk about the kicks that he missed, we're going to talk about the, I guess, what's it called? Statement in question. Should your coach say things publicly like that? Should it be handled in house? What are your thoughts on the situation?
Sorry, I was trying to look up the kicking record.
It's fine.
Because you said,
I'll tee it up and allow me to do a research. I did mine on USC defense. I do think coaches should not say such blatantly disrespectful things like to the media. You guys know these players come in and day out, and they put their heart on the line. They get tormented in their DMs and their comment section, and I'm sure they hear from their parents and their teammates and their friends and their coaches. I don't think coaches should say such things so publicly, because it just gives way for the public to be even worse to the person. I don't care if this person missed 7 million kicks. Like, when you say something like that to the media, it just allows it. Like, we assess Michael's kicking because we watch the games. We see he's not that good of a kicker. We ask for Dennis back. But then when the coach says, like, we're going to be holding trials next week, I just think it's an added level of, it's just unnecessary in my opinion. You can say, like, I'm frustrated with the kicking. This, it's been something, blah, blah, blah. We'll be working on it. Something, whatever. But I do think as a coach, like how Macy was just talking about letting your emotions get the best of you, this is a time where you need to, like, not do. I don't even know how to say it. You need to be a leader in this situation. You're the head coach. You're a grown man. This is a time where you just let your emotions simmer, talk to the press, media train, and just let it go. Handle it in-house. But that's my opinion. What about you?
I don't know. I guess, like, until I saw it on Twitter and everybody was, like, upset about it, I saw, like, 2 different point of views. On TikTok, people were laughing. I didn't really see anybody hating on the kicker. But then on Twitter, I mean, the coach went on there and apologized. I'm sure somebody called him out for it. And he was saying, like, like, when you talk about defense and offense, it's, like, more players.
Yeah.
It's directed to. And then when it's kicking, it's one player.
That is true.
So I guess I don't know what their conversations have been. Maybe I mean, I'm sure the kicker feels the pressure, and I'm sure he's, like, upset with himself. But, I mean, I don't necessarily have a problem with coaches being like, this is atrocious. Like, our kicking game is atrocious. Like, I think him saying, like, oh, we're having kicking tryouts, and if you are at ASU, come out. I don't know. I guess I wasn't thinking about how the kicker would feel. I think he already knows, like, it was not acceptable.
Yeah.
And maybe the coaches, I feel like my mom would be like, maybe your coach is making you fight for your position by bringing other people out. And I think that, I always think that.
No, for sure.
I think competition is great. So
Yeah.
my thing is, like, I don't think it's a bad thing to be like, oh, hey, we're going to have other people come out. I think the coach was obviously frustrated, rightfully slow. Not everybody can hold their tongue like Lincoln. I surely can't. So I'm like, in a sense, he definitely could have been more graceful with it. But, I mean, I don't really disagree with what he said. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, we did say it's a business. Like, you were brought in for kicking. If you're not doing your job, then you get the boot. Like, they could be nicer about it, but, like, no one has to be.
That's true.
But I'm like, also, they said he was 7 for 10 going in, and then he missed a 48 and a 41. I don't know what his range is, but I'm like,
that should be, like, in your range.
I think it should. I mean, our kicker's missing it, and our coach hasn't said anything.
I think anything that's, like, after 44 is, like, pretty long range.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying, like, I feel like if other coaches can hush about it and not say anything, maybe he should have just taken the high road on this. But I don't necessarily disagree with what he said. Like, I feel like
he could have been worse for sure.
Yeah, I definitely.
He's terrible.
Literally, he didn't say his name. He said our kicking game's atrocious.
Yeah.
So my thing is, I think it definitely could have been worse. I don't necessarily disagree with what he said. Sorry.
No, that's fair.
Maybe it's just
I feel like it's good to have different opinions.
No, literally. I'm like, I come from, like, my coach used to sit there and call us out and tell us each individually what we used to do wrong. Like, if she could have broadcasted it, she would have.
That's
like,
sick.
Like, so I'm like, stuff like that, I'm like, yeah, like,
it is what it is, yeah.
It is, like, that was my job. Like, and unfortunately, kicking is pretty individual. I mean, someone is holding the ball, so, but for the most part, that's your job, so.
True.
I don't know.
Speaking of jobs, look, Aaron Rodgers is in his GM mode. He's getting Devontae Adams. He got his coach fired. Now, this is the thing. I don't actually know if he got his coach fired. Nobody actually knows, but people know. This is my thing. And let me look up the Jets record just prior to this past game because this is
Isn't it
okay.
like 2 and something?
Yes, well, they are third in the AFC East, but prior to this week, I actually am not sure what their record or their standing was. But they currently are 2-5, so I assume they were 2-4.
They were.
This is my thing. Their coach wasn't bad. Like, oh my gosh, to fire your head. I said this about Alex Grinch on a previous podcast that I will not name that I was on, but you should not fire your coach before the season is over. Unless it's like obviously something terrible, like terrible allegations, horrible.
Didn't they do that to Alex Grinch?
That's what
okay.
Exactly.
Got you.
I don't think they should have done that. Because why? Like, you just leave the players coachless. Somebody has to step up. It's awkward. It's weird. I don't think your head coach, the head, unless you have a for sure interim, your head coach, and they act like he was a terrible play caller. You know who needs to get fired? Dare I say it?
Go ahead. I was waiting.
I don't think you can fire an owner, but Jerry Jones gotta go. Gotta go. That old, wrinkly, shriveled.
Jeez.
Jerry Jones, come on. Like, he's past his time limit. Past.
Oh, wow.
So I know you can't fire him. But anyways, I don't think he should have been fired. Needless to say, I don't know. A lot happened in the NFL. I mean, Deshaun Watson got injured. Chris Godwin led the league in receptions. Now, he broke his ankle. He snapped his ankle something.
Why
tendon?
did you have to say it again? You broke it.
I wanted to correct
it.
myself. It was so, like, insane. I mean, a lot of things happened, but the Ravens.
Speaking of the Ravens, I was actually watching a Raiders game this week. I don't have a team to root for in the NFL, so I just watch random games. I can't believe y'all lost to them.
No, literally.
I was like, this is one of the worst teams
The
I've
Ravens
ever seen
should
in my life.
be undefeated. I'll stand on that. Week 1, I'll give it to us. Okay, we just found our footing. We had new players. Okay, we should have beat the Chiefs. We almost did. But losing to the Raiders
was insane.
It was so I was so nervous. I was like, is this who we are? Is this what we're about to be? The Raiders? And then look at them now. So I don't know what that was. That was a much needed loss. We always say lose in the beginning so you can fix that now. Because look at us. Look at me now. Come on. Look, we're going to talk about Super Bowl contenders. But Lamar is having MVP season. Lamar, the MVP season, he finally got good receivers. He has a great running back, so it's not on him. This is exactly what I've been saying Lamar needed since day one. And finally, we fired Greg Roman. Finally. Like, we are doing so well because of the pieces of the puzzle that fit together perfectly. My Super Bowl contenders for AFC, obviously the Chiefs are 6-0 without their best players. Okay, they have Kelsey and Mahomes, but you know what I'm saying? Without key components. They're somehow 6-0. They're going to do it. I don't care. The Chiefs, obviously, and the Ravens. Those are my 2 AFC contenders. There's no other team in the AFC that I can confidently say, like, for sure. Like, the Texans are great. Mind you, they're great. And what other team? I don't care about the AFC East. They don't scare me at all. Josh Allen don't even start. I have no qualms with the AFC East. But I would say Ravens and the Chiefs for sure. Who are your AFC teams? If you have more than one.
No, I agree with what you said. I had the Ravens and the Chiefs. I would love to see the Texans get up there. Y'all know I like CJ Stroud. Like
Dicks.
I just CJ Stroud, he works so hard. Like, he's a rookie. He had a great rookie season.
Yes.
Like, I want to see him win so bad. Their team is awesome.
Wait,
their team is fun to watch.
Nico Collins just get hurt though? Or was it Tank Dell or Nico? One of them.
I don't know.
Yes, he's injured.
There's so many injuries right now. I don't even understand that.
We shall talk about this.
No, literally. I don't care about the Bengals.
They suck. Let's be real. Come on. The Steelers are ahead of them. They're not winning our division.
Yeah, probably not. Y'all know I love the Eagles, but I don't know. I don't think it's gonna happen.
The chef is not cooking. I really don't. They started hot. I said, okay, Saquon. don't know what's happening.
Literally,
I don't know what's happening.
I was like, you know what? Maybe they just it's a few bumps in the road. It's early in the season.
Several bumps, hills, even.
I don't know. It's
definitely. I think the Ravens are the team to beat because I heard this earlier. I forgot who said it, but we have not reached our ceiling yet. Like we are just finally like linking, and I don't think we reached our ceiling. Like we can do so much more. Lamar is just starting. He's just beginning. Our receivers are finally locked in. I pray, God, hear me. Injury bugs, stay away. Stay away. Marlon Humphrey had 2 interceptions that game and then got injured the same game. I said,
I don't know what's going on. Like, at all. I saw so many injuries the past few weeks.
So
and
many.
I'm like, literally.
Mike Evans just got his 100th touchdown in that game and then injured himself. Right after I'm like, what the heck?
I don't know what's going on. But I think, honestly, I know the Chiefs are going to be in it. I think the only team that can give
in the Super Bowl?
Yeah. I think the only team that can.
Here are her words. Eat them?
You don't think it's going to be. I didn't say they're going to win.
No, the Ravens.
Well, I'm saying. Okay, well, yeah. I don't know. The Chiefs are so good. The Chiefs are just so good, guys.
Do y'all see a knife in my bag?
No, I'm not even saying, like, I would love for the Ravens. I would love.
It says Macy on it.
I do not want to watch the Chiefs. I'm just like, bro, they do it every year. Every year they do it.
Yeah, last year we choked. We choked. But this year we're not choking on Macy's life. We're not.
What the hell? No.
Rebuke.
Oh my gosh.
Rebuke.
Why would you ever even say that?
I'm so sorry. That's nothing to play with.
So now I'm actually going for the Chiefs.
Stop. Rebuke.
Go Chiefs.
That's nothing to play with, y'all. We don't even joke around like that. My mom,
I think
she
the
would
Chiefs
not have that.
And the Ravens are definitely going to have to battle it out to see.
For sure. I do think they're the team. I don't think any teams would emerge. Again, aside from the Texans, I think the Steelers are great. Yeah, Russ and Justin. I don't think they're really giving us no comp. We will see when we play them, though, since we are tied currently in record. But again, record doesn't mean everything in the NFL, as we've seen. Now for the NFC ski. Obviously, I don't know. Who are your picks? I have 2 obvious contenders. Obvious.
You know, I'm still going to put my Eagles on my back. You know, what? Why are you getting quiet?
You know what?
I just think the Eagles. I don't think they're gonna lay down so easily. You know, we're only 4-2. That's not even bad.
Anyways,
we're second in the East.
May I direct your attention to the NFC North? Thank you.
Well, no, I think the Lions are definitely eating down. You don't
Lions or the Vikings? The Vikings were just undefeated. They just lost their first game.
Yeah, no, I'm going with Lions and either Lions or Eagles.
So the Eagles she's just biased. Y'all know the Eagles. If the Eagles make a comeback, I will eat. I don't know.
We don't want to see you do that.
I'll eat. I don't know.
How about you do a backflip off this table?
I'll
do a backflip.
I'll do a crazy bet. We'll make a pinwheel of bets and then I'll do it. The Eagles, I don't think they can make a comeback this season. I think the Commanders potentially. I don't know about Super Bowl. Let me say this.
How do you think they're gonna do with Jane Daniels?
Well, I think he's only out for a week since it's his ribs. They said indefinitely, so it's day by day. But I don't think his ribs will take him out for that long. Hopefully, but I obviously think the Lions or the Vikings, like they're playing hot. But the thing is, as we said, they are in the same conference.
Yeah.
No, division. They're in the same division, which is T. This T. I hate it for them, but I'm very shocked. Obviously, I think everybody's shocked. When Kirk Cousins left the Vikings, I don't think anybody thought Sam Darnold. I said, Sam Darnold, what are y'all doing? There are hella quarterbacks in the draft that y'all can get and cook. Alas, eat my words, Sam. My fault.
They did.
My fault. They got Jay Jettas and Jordan Addison. My fault. But yeah, they're doing their thing.
That's why you're choosing the Vikings.
No, Jay Jettas.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Just let me know.
That's why she's choosing the Vikings.
No, because come on, they've been balling.
I just think
they were the last undefeated team. Aside from the Chiefs.
I don't think that matters right now. We're early.
And Jared Goff, the Lions have the what's it called?
I'm giving it to
They
Lions.
have the recipe figured out.
No,
I'm
for
like,
sure.
okay, Lions. When's the last time
but-
anyone rooted for the Lions?
No,
Since
literally.
Megatron was on that team. Years ago. Years ago.
I don't know. The Eagles have just been there. They know how to get there. They know what they're doing. I just think that's hard to give up. Like, I think that's hard to lose. I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like NFC South is not really anything to worry about. And again, NFC West, sorry,
literally.
suckers.
I want the Falcons to
Losers.
eat so bad, but they just
they don't even
The
they don't even have a
49ers
seat at the table.
49ers trash.
It's embarrassing.
I can't believe
Where
you
they
played in
were
the
a
Super Bowl
year
last
ago?
year.
No,
I cannot
literally.
believe that.
And the thing is, it's obviously because they have so many injuries. I think they have 6. CMC, Debo Ayuk, I cannot pronounce his name. Something Hafunga, I think that's how you say it. They have a lot of players out. Oh, Dre something. I cannot think of his name again. I'm so sorry. They have a lot of injuries. And those are their best players, mind you, aside from Brock Purdy. So obviously, yeah, they're not going to perform as they should. The Giants, this is exactly what the chef was cooking for them. Whoever bet on Daniel Jones, I know he's sitting right now in his office crying. I didn't know. When I said pay him this much, I really meant, yeah, crying, sobbing. In the Cowboys, I have nothing to say. Nothing.
Y'all,
the fact that Ezekiel Elliott came back, I don't get it. I don't get it. I will say this time and time again, why CeeDee Lamb decided to stay.
I have no clue.
You thought CeeDee, please look me in the eyes and say, you really thought you were going to win a Super Bowl with the Cowboys?
There's no
You
way.
really signed an extension?
And now he just looks sick.
You look
sitting over
goofy.
there. Literally.
Even
dumb.
I can eat my words with Jay Jettis. I said,
Yeah.
why is he signing an extension? Sam cooking. Will they win a Super Bowl?
I don't think
But
so.
he's happy. At least they're winning. But Jamar Chase, he didn't sign. He said, I'm not signing with the Bengals. I get it. He wants to go somewhere else. CD, why didn't you take that
No, literally.
path?
I have no clue.
I'm like,
I don't know why he's there.
Of all the top receivers, I get it if Jamar Chase re-signed. Joe Burrow's amazing. Okay, I can say that. But CD, you're gonna stay with Dak and what? Alas,
No clue.
it's embarrassing. But I feel like we should touch on the injuries. There have been so many. I don't know if it's turf. I don't know if it's grass. I don't know if it's what's it called? Practicing too hard, too much. I don't know what it is, but there have been a lot of injuries.
No, for sure. Like the 49ers,
So many.
so many. So I said, oh my gosh, I'm just scrolling through the list. Like, what's going on?
Every week, it's like another good player. I'm scared.
No, literally. One, I will say, I just saw Jaden Daniels. Obviously, he's going to be back. But I was upset because I'm like, I need
He
you to
was
play against the Bears.
balling.
I want to see Caleb versus Jaden. And I'm like, somebody
wait,
need to wrap that up.
What week is that? Sorry, y'all. My
Isn't it-
computer died. Is it coming up
Yeah, it is.
this week?
I think so.
That makes me so sad.
I think so because I was reading an article.
Oh,
on it.
it's this
Yeah.
Sunday.
So I'm like,
That sucks.
I feel like they said they're going to reevaluate, I think, tomorrow or Thursday. But I think, I'm like, come on. I want to see that because everybody wants to see the first and second pick, you know?
Yeah.
But also, I'll say, we got an update on Tua's injury, and I said,
CTE, bro.
I
No,
said,
let's
sir.
talk. Look, bro. Tua, there was this quote he said in the press conference. He's like, you risk your life every day when you step outside. Car accident, plane crash, you can get hit by a car. You risk your life every day. So everybody puts a risk. So I understand mine. Tua, the chances of me getting... Okay, actually, it is a high chance of getting a car crash. For sure. But getting, like...
that's
I
just,
can't even...
that's
Like,
just
you cannot
stupid logic.
compare.
because
Oh, you're going to get hit in a car by a car, so it's fine if I get CTE.
Literally.
Is
My
that what
thing
you're
is-
saying?
you have to understand, you're upping your chances of getting hurt. Number one, if you want to use that logic, I'm sure you drive to the facility.
Right?
You drive to the facility, and
you
then you
fly
get there.
to every
Literally,
game.
and then you willingly say, I'm playing football, okay? So you're going to get hit. We know that. And they're saying, you know what, Tua, you've been through a lot. Why not put on a guardian cap? You know, this
That's
can
what
help
I'm
minimize concussions. And you say no?
We're not even telling you to retire or quit.
Literally.
They're saying wear a guardian cap.
That should be they should force him to do
No
that. If the NFL
brainer.
cares about their players, it should not be a question.
Literally,
It should be
Mike McDaniels.
literally.
A no-brainer.
I would say you're not playing unless you put it on.
No-brainer.
You're literally-
It's
I'm like-
insane. Like, first of all, you can't even test for CTE until you die so they can look at your brain. Or years later, like Antonio Brown, you see it in his personality. And mind you, some players, it takes years, like 60, 70.
No, literally.
And then it starts to hit you.
I'm like, number one, he didn't even look healthy in that in that conference. He looked tired. His eye, he had bags.
Exhausted.
I was like, you need to go lay down.
I was
Why
like,
did
who are you
do
trying
this?
to convince?
Literally,
Me or
I
you?
was like, it's not working. You need to come back in a few weeks. I was like, oh my gosh.
I'm
And
just like, come on.
the way you can't even give me like a real reason of why you won't wear it. He said personal
Exactly.
preference. Like, that's stupid. So you're
Tua.
dumb. You just said you're dumb. That's basically what you said. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't understand how you could put your body through all that and be like, okay, I'm like, my thing is,
At
if
all.
you are like one of those players, like, if you put it on, nobody would say anything.
At all.
So I'm like,
They
there's a lot of,
call you CTE Tua.
literally, I'm like, there's so many players that won't put it on because they're like, oh, people are gonna make fun of me because they're like,
No
weak.
drip, no photos.
Literally. But I'm like, I would be like, good job, bud.
You
I'm
know
proud
what?
of you, dude.
If I was mic'd up, y'all would hear me being like, yeah,
Literally.
I got you. I feel
be
you.
like,
I was rooting for you to come
I'd
back.
be like, CT to put that on. He
And-
put it on today.
And the thing is, he's the quarterback.
Literally.
You, if not anybody else, are getting targeted the most by the biggest, the defensive
Literally.
linemen, the biggest dudes on the field. There's no, what other way do you want to put it? If your head bounces off the ground,
Literally.
bounces off their knee, and how many concussions did you have in high school and then college and now
Literally.
here?
I just wonder if that makes people play, like, if that would make people play differently against him. Because, like, for me, I feel like I'd be like, he don't even want to put it on. Like, that,
Literally.
like, how am I supposed, like,
If they wore a guardian cap, if a quarterback wore a guardian cap, now look, I know I'm not a man, I never played football, but I feel like I would be like a little hesitant. Not hesitant, I would be like, what is it when you're not doing it on purpose?
no, I'd be like, if someone has a guardian cap, I'd be like, oh, they're straight.
I would be
Let me hit
like,
'em.
I would feel like I would be less likely to be so aggressive, but not on purpose, like unintentionally. I would be
I
like,
feel like,
let me be a little gentle,
I
because he
feel
cares
like
about
I
his
would be-
brain.
I would feel like I would be more likely. I'd be like, because he's straight. Like, he got protection. Like, he
Oh.
going to be good when I hit him. But I'm like, if it's,
Oh,
I'm like, if it's Tua, though, I'm like, just knowing what he's been through, I'm going to be like, bro, I don't want to injure, like,
I'm gonna tap you, be like, fall over.
literally, I'm going to say, hey, I got him.
I don't want to hit you.
Like,
Please pull his flag.
literally, I'm going to say, yeah, make him wear a flag then. Because
Literally. At what point, like, do you start taking care of yourself, Tua?
Literally, I don't get that. I'm like, to me, it's not worth it. Like,
At all.
they cannot fix your brain. Like,
At all.
like, they can't. I
Like
don't get it.
concussions are. This is why I say, like, with ACLs, I'm like, let it go.
Literally.
After one even, but two, but
Literally.
concussions, it's like your brain. You can. Lonzo got a new meniscus.
Literally.
You cannot get a new brain. That's
At all.
That's it. Don't you want to grow up and see your kids and your wife
literally.
and walk your daughter down the aisle and
I don't-
enjoy your money?
I don't understand how you look at Antonio Brown. You're like, I'm okay with that.
And he was, oh my gosh,
He was so good. He
the
was
one
so
of the
good.
best route runners in the
So
league.
good. It's so
Cold.
unfortunate. I'm like, how do you watch his downfall and then you're like, okay, I don't care. I'm like, that makes. I would be like, no, give me the garden cap today.
I mean, you see with other players, we literally talked about this. Like, I don't even know how many episodes ago. Like Damar Hamlin and, like you said, with Shiloh headache gang.
Literally.
And then they see injuries like that and crazy freak accidents, and they say, yeah, anyways, let me
Literally.
keep tackling so rough and being
Literally.
rough and aggressive.
I'm like that. Like, I get it. Football is an aggressive sport, but to intentionally be like headache gang or like, oh, I'm gonna like. I'm like, you don't have to hit someone as hard as you can
At all.
to get them down. You really don't.
You don't
If you
win.
wrap up right and you have the right technique, they're gonna be down.
Technique, USC.
But I'm like, when you try to compensate for not having the technique, so you hit them harder,
Shiloh.
that's when it becomes a problem, in my opinion.
Shiloh.
Ooh.
Not too much. Anyways, any last words? Any last things?
You know, shout out to our guys in the NFL.
Mhm.
I think Christian Roland Weiss just had his
He had
first
a
interception.
pick.
Yes,
Chris,
shout out to him. Shout out to him.
mm.
Kalen Bullock had
I
another
was watching
one.
that game. They said Christian Roland Walls. I said, why do
Literally,
I
I
know
said,
that name? Chris!
bye.
Mind you, there's tape. We said take Sierra out, put Chris in. They finally did it when Sierra got hurt. Weeks
Yeah.
down the line.
And Chris ate.
We knew Chris was gonna cook. He's a great DB. I'm glad he's earned his stripes.
No. Plus, he's living the rookie dream. Like him
Rookie
and Kalen.
dream.
Because like Kalen's at the Texas
he
and
has
he's
2
at the
picks
Chiefs
already.
And no, he has. Wait, I think he has 3 now. He
3?
just got another one.
See,
Yeah.
and we knew Twin was good. Caleb, please come back.
No, literally, bro. We miss
Caleb,
him.
no matter what the record is, Caleb's doing amazing for
He
his
is.
rookie season.
I agree.
Unfortunately, Taj is hurt. Brendan, I actually not have heard
I don't
much
think
about
he's playing
Brendan
right now.
at all, or he's like
I haven't seen.
injured.
No, I don't think he's playing. I don't think he's injured.
Well, Brendan deserves to cook for sure.
No, for sure. I hope he gets his chance.
I thought I saw that Keon was released by the Seahawks, but I cannot specifically recall.
I tried to look him up. I couldn't remember his last name.
That is fair. Oh, he got signed in August, so I guess we'll see if they use him. I forgot there was one more person that got drafted. I can never remember. It's like a lineman or something.
Justin Dietrich.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't make the roster. Then they signed him to the practice squad or something. Then he finally got a chance to be on the team. I don't know how well he's doing.
He was. We'll miss you, Justin. You see what we're dealing with now on our goal line. Alas.
Last thing. Shout out Georgia. Shout out Georgia. Texas. How you feeling? How you feeling, losers? Y'all, none of y'all believed in us. Not one of y'all. Everybody said we're gonna lose. Everybody.
I mean, to be fair,
and then look at us. We got out there and we showed you. Come on, say it. How about them dogs?
It definitely was a shutout.
It was.
I was like, I'm not even watching the rest of this.
Yeah.
For what?
Literally. Don't ever speak to me. I need all my apologies now.
I mean, yeah, Georgia did their thing, and I mean, people were definitely doubting Kirby. They, every loss they blame it on the coach, but
they sure do.
They showed y'all that one loss doesn't mean everything. In Alabama, what did they do? They lost again. So I have nothing to say. They were doing so well, Alabama, and then crumbled, immediately crumbled. But Georgia's on top, not undefeated though. I think it's only Iowa State, Pitt, and Indiana.
It's okay. We'll take them today. Let's go. We're not worried about that.
Who does Georgia play next?
They have a bye week this week, and then I think they play like Florida, Ole Miss, Mississippi State.
UF?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the only one I'm worried about is probably Tennessee, because they beat Alabama, but
Tennessee's. I mean,
but I think if we play the way we just played, it ain't nothing but a thing.
I think I'm sick of seeing Georgia, but what can you do when they're so good?
What can you do when you're good? What can you do when you're on top?
Bye.
Someone's got to keep the spot warm.
And with that, don't mind us. You'll see us next week as always. I think. Yeah, next week. I have to remember if it November 5th. There'll be some discrepancies, but we'll make it work. You'll see us, and maybe Macy will wear her Halloween speck of dust costume.
Maybe because, I'm light and skinny.
Not too much. But yes, that is us. Take our mic away. Again, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, subscribe, comment, like, share, and we'll see you next week.